All right, welcome back. We're gonna tackle the LeetCode problem in this equal 50. And here we're given a schema where for transactions, we have the ID, country, state, amount, transaction date. What the ask is, right? We want to find each month, we want to find for each month and country the number of transactions that and their total. We want the number of approved transactions and the total amount. So now, working through this, there are a few things we need to do. We know that we have to do some level of aggregation. We're going to be aggregating by month and country. And since the transaction date is actually in a date format, so we have to convert that into a month. And then we have to do a case to only aggregate the approved ones for the approved. So let's go ahead and get started. What we'll do is we'll do it with CDE, where we'll do transaction monthly. We're going to create a monthly aggregation, and it's important to make sure that your CTEs have a meaningful name. So here we're going to select. We're already going to do that. We're already going to do the aggregation. So here in the name, we'll add ag for aggregation, so it's clear. And let's do it at the country level. We'll do it at the state. That's fine. We'll do it. Let's also have it at, now we have the transaction date. So what we'll do is we'll do extract month from transaction date. This is okay. We're gonna switch this to Postgres implementation as month. Okay, from transaction. Group by 1, 2, and 3. Now, what we want to do is let's go ahead and do the count. We'll do count of ID. In this case, we are assuming that the ID is going to be unique, and that it is the unique identifier for a transaction, right? This is what it's given to us. So we have the number of transactions is going to be the number of IDs, right? And let's go ahead and also sum the amount as, let's see if LeetCode sometimes wants a particular. Okay, so they want this as transaction count, and they want transaction total amount. Okay, great. So now what I have this is going to give us all the counts, right? What we need is, let's go ahead and keep it this way. This will just give us the aggregate. Now, for what we want in our final case, we want the month. They want to have it month, so we'll call it month. Transaction month as month. We're going to pull the country. We're going to pull the sum, because these are the transactions. So we're going to pull the sum of transaction counts. all of them. Now, in order for us to get the approved count, we're going to do case when we said state is approved. Case when state equals approved, then go ahead and we'll do sum of transaction counts. And make sure we close it. We have to end it. What we could do is we could also just do else to make sure, otherwise it's going to be 0. And we'll do end, as this is going to be the approved count. Correct? So now what they also want, now we also want the transaction total amount and so in order to get the transaction total amount, we'll go ahead and sum up the and similar to what we did for the count, we want to get, just use this here. We're going to sum this up, and well, it's going to be the transaction approved total transaction amount. Okay, and we're going to be pulling this from the monthly from our table here. Let's go ahead and remove that from our CTE table. Now, don't forget, we have to then also, we do have to do another level of group. Group by, and we're going to group it by month and by country. Now, we don't have to provide back any, we can result it in any order. So let's go ahead and run this. And let's see, this should give us what we want. State. So we're using state, but we're not actually grouping it by it. So in this case, what we need to do is, since we already have the state here, we'll do the aggregations here. So let's go ahead and move this up here. We'll keep the same order as before. So here we're going to be counting ID, and here we're going to be adding up adding the amount approved from transactions. Great. Okay. Now, so this will give me what I want, but this is still one level of aggregation we have to do. So here we still have to do a sum of all the transactions. We do have to get the transaction account. What we don't have to do, the transaction amount for for the approved, because that we already have. Okay. So here we should already have but we can go ahead and just do some of, just for consistency. And we'll go ahead and also just do sum of total approved amount. So okay, we wanted by the month. Did it specify that they want how they want the month? So we should have realized this, because a month, it's actually a month year, right? So what we really want to do is, it's not just we want to do the month. Let's go back here. When we create the month, we're going to create a concat. We're going to create a concatenation. Concatenation, and what we'll do is this here. We're going to pull the year, and we just need to now close it. Great. So now that should help us, give us what we want. Okay, still not. Great. Why is that? Doesn't like this 0, 1. Result in any order. Okay. So let's do the following. Let's do this is like the semantics of it, which I don't particularly. This is something that we need to just be mindful of, right? So this is the 0, 0, 1, and with the extract, it's just giving us. So what we can do is, in fact, here. Let's go ahead and find the extracting. So what we can do is we can actually maybe use date truncate, and we can still use month. Okay, let's see. Date truncate month. This should give us back. Oh. Okay, so let's do it a different way. Substring. Substring. We're going to pull. The substring is this string, we're starting from 0, and we're going to take 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to take 7 spots, and that should, let's say, if substring, oh man. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, great. Another tool in our arsenal. And we're going to remember this, right? Awesome, right? This is exactly what we want. Right, fantastic. So great. So we passed. Our runtime is not great. So let's look at some of the other. So the thing is, sometimes like when you run it again, you end up being all over the place. So I'm kind of curious. Yeah, you see like it's already up here, but I always do check and see what some of the other do. Now here you see what we're doing. They're doing is they're doing creating a approved count, and they're counting 1. I don't know. You can just count the IDs, but that's okay. This is the reason why this is slightly faster is because you're doing this all in one transaction, um, as opposed to doing it in doing a CTE and then doing it in a with a different table. But that's okay. So let's go back and review what we did. We identified what we wanted to do, which is to do an aggregation. We had to break up our aggregation into different categories by approved and total. And then we had to go ahead and do some data manipulation, and we had to make sure we were bringing the date in the correct format. Paying attention to the details is critical when it comes to solving questions at a fast pace, but making sure that you get the correct expected result. That's it for today.